Air Assault. Hello, friends, and welcome to Shero Coffee Chat. We hope you've had a great week, and thank you for joining us today. We've got a full cup ahead, so grab your Shero coffee, because we're taking a spin around the Shero resource table. Plus, we've got your chat, tip, and guest of the week. Let's give a big shout out to our host, Melissa Farmer Hill, Army Combat Veteran, host of Shero Coffee Chat, and founder of the Shero Coffee Club, where we keep the world caffeinated and women veterans celebrated. And now, reporting for duty and ready to lead the conversation, Melissa Farmer Hill.
Aerosol! Good morning, friends, and welcome to the Shero Coffee Chat. I know my lighting looks bad, but we're just going to work with it. It's been a hectic morning, and as you can see, I don't even have my HD camera on. That went out. So yes, it's been a hectic morning, but we know how to do hard things, right? We know when we have to move, we move, right? But welcome to the Shero Coffee Chat, where coffee meets conversation for our veteran and military communities. I hope you are having a great weekend. Only 4 days till Christmas. And I'm so glad you joined us today. We've got our Shero coffee in hand, right? We've got a Shero coffee in hand, and we are ready to go. So let's go. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is what I'm rocking today. I'm just going to lift up a little. Yes, I am rocking the Shero Coffee Club black and white tea. And for those of you who are watching and don't know about what the Shero Coffee Club is, the Shero Coffee Club is where stories of military service and everyday life are told by women. And these stories are carried across the world, and these bags are landing in your hands, and it's being poured into teacups and coffee mugs as part of your daily ritual. You guys, our tea lands in January. I'm excited and I cannot wait. Now we're going to get right into the Shero resource table, because at Shero Coffee Chat, we know that life is a journey, and that's not always easy. And that's why like I say, we have to keep our heads on a swivel, right? When it comes to taking care of our veterans and our family members, with over 16 million veterans out there, none of us has all the answers, but together we can definitely find solutions. And the Shero resource table is all about sharing information, resources, and programs, because when one of us wins, we all win. And you know what? I have my assistant in here. If she could turn down that, because I'm getting reverb feedback, so turn down your sound. Yes, that is my assistant, Elena. You guys will meet her later. Elena, go ahead and turn that down, because I hear myself talk. But right now, we know that tis the season to be jolly, right? I even have a Christmas hat that says "'Tis the season." But if I'm being honest, right, the holidays can hit a little different for veterans and a lot of people. And no, none of us are Grinches, right? But it's just that, memories come up. We miss people that were in our lives, or some significant emotional event happened around this holiday. Our routine gets thrown off, and then there's the pressure sometimes for you to act like you're okay, or act like you're good when in reality you're not. So if you're watching this and thinking, should I be paying attention to how I'm really feeling, or how I'm really doing? There is a simple check I want you to know about. And that check is through Make the Connections. And you guys, like I said, it's been a hectic morning. I got to go find it. Here it is. And that check is through Make the Connection. Yes. It's actually, and I think just personally, they have veteran stories on there. It's a really solid resource for veterans. They have this quick private self-assessment that helps you to look at things like your stress, your mood, relationships, just real life stuff, and just about those experiences, how they might be showing up for you right now, especially in this season. It's just a way to, take a pause and get a better picture at where you're at. And you can find it at maketheconnection.com. This is what the page looks like. You can go to treatment and support. and then click on self-assessment. And they have, screenings for depression and alcohol, and substance use, and and they even have a veterans Christ line self-check tool. So if you need it, it is there. I just wanted to share this with you, because sometimes, not knowing or awareness can be the first step. So try it out, make the connection, go online and take their self assessment to see just how you're doing. All right. And so now we're going to move right into our story of the week. And I like this story because it's a story about connection, right? Make the connection, but this is a story about connection. I came across this people online story that I read about an army soldier named Sergeant Stormy. I like that name, Sergeant Stormy. Shout out to Sergeant Stormy. I hope you're having a great holiday. And while he was deployed overseas, he found this starving, this stray puppy, right? And the puppy was in the bunker, and instead of walking past the dog, he stopped, he fed the dog, he cared for the dog. And of course, when you do that, when you take care of something, you guys form a relationship, you formed a bond. And that's what Sergeant Stormy did with Jasmine. He cared for Jasmine all the way up until his deployment was over. And then, of course, when you redeploy back to the States, he had to leave Jasmine behind. And he didn't know whether she would survive. He didn't know whether he probably thought that he would never see her again. But once he came home, Sergeant Stormy, I mean, he was diagnosed with bone cancer, just a blow to your health. But he did begin treatment. So now, he's fighting a whole new battle at home, right? He went to deployment, lost contact with Jasmine, the puppy, and now he's got a whole new battle to fight. But that's when his family, he reached out to an organization, you guys, called Pause of War. Pause of War. He reached out, and Pause of War, they check this out. They work to reunite service members. Listen, service members with animals they bonded with overseas. And they were able to reunite Sergeant Stormy with Jasmine. How in the world? How in the world do you do that? You got to go to Pause of War to find out. And I have an image to show you, and I don't have my images ready, but I can find it really quick. There it is. Oh my God. Look at this, you guys. Look at that. This photo credit goes to Pause of War. And as I looked at this picture, I really, it just brings joy. I'm happy and amazed that something like this could happen. I gotta get me a Pause of War t-shirt, because I need to represent their organization. The puppy was overseas. Jasmine was overseas. They literally found the puppy and reunited the puppy back to Sergeant Stormy. If that's not an organization for good, you guys, I really don't know what is. And really, what kind of stands out to me the most is that even in the middle of war, you got stress, you got uncertainty, there's fear. Sergeant Stormy still, had the capacity to care for something outside himself, and in return, the puppy Jasmine, gave him comfort and connection, especially when he needed the most. And a lot of veterans definitely understand that. And so now to know that they're reunited, it just warms my heart. I thought this was a great story. 4 days till Christmas. So we are wishing Sergeant Stormy and Jasmine and your entire family a happy holiday. I absolutely love that. We're going to go now right on into our tip of the week. And the tip of the week is, again, I need to upload that. It'll just take a second. The tip of the week, I'm going to give 5 tips for the holiday. Now, let me just grab that for you really quick. Here we are. And there you are. Tips for protecting your mental health during the holidays. I mean, throughout this broadcast, I've been talking about, connection and mental health and assessing yourself and the story with Sergeant Stormy. But we already know, the holidays can bring joy, but it can also bring stress, right? So if this in this season, if it feels heavy, just know that you're not by yourself. A lot of people, even people in my family were like, it's feeling really heavy. It's not feeling like the holidays really. But that's fine. It's fine for you to feel however it is you feel. But I just want to give you 5 tips to help you stay grounded and to take care of yourself. So first, make a plan. If you already know a situation might be stressful, plan ahead, right? That's what they teach in the military. Planning, planning, planning. And well, I won't even go there, but think about just how you'll handle whatever that situation is and build it into healthy breaks, like listening to music before you have to go to somewhere or whatever that's going to be stressful. Stepping outside for fresh air. If you're at a party and it seems to be overwhelming, just step outside, take time for yourself, go to the bathroom, just draw in, not out. Okay, that's really what you want to do. And then second, you want to stick to some healthy routines. You guys, I can't tell you how much sleep matters. You guys know that I was recording from Alabama, but when I returned, I did a sleep study, and it the outcome was not so good, but at least you know. But I can't tell you how important sleep matters. But not only sleep, movement matters. I went to a Christmas party where we had someone from the stretch where they stretch you. He said motion is the lotion. So movement matters. So stay in motion. Eating matters. Eating regularly matters. That's really what I wanted to say. Eating regularly matters, you guys. The holidays can throw everything off, but those okay, are you doing your shakes? Are you doing your salads? Even though there's extra food for the holidays out there, you want to make sure you're still eating the things to nourish your body. So eating regularly matters. Of course, gonna always say try to limit alcohol and avoid drugs, because what they can do, they can exacerbate the circumstance. If you got anxiety, if you got sadness, and you've got anger or things like that, it might be a short-term escape, but then if it comes back, it might hit you double. And so what you want to do is try to avoid or limit that alcohol use altogether, and just don't use drugs. But I mean, okay. All right. Third, I'm going to keep moving. There's so many other things I want to say behind that, but I know we have to keep it rolling. So third is definitely, and I've said this before, definitely set boundaries, right? It's okay to say no. I've told you this a number of times. This isn't the season to push past your limits. If crowds overwhelm you, choose smaller gatherings. Stay at home with people you feel safe with. Protecting your peace is necessary. All right. And then fourth, honor grief, okay, and survival guilt, and you can do that in healthy ways. Some of us, like I said earlier, some of us may have lost loved ones during this time, or some of us, especially if you've deployed and now you're redeployed and you have people that did not return, that survivor's guilt can hit you around the holidays. So it just brings up memories of people you've lost. So just take time to honor them. You can light a candle, you can say their names, say a small prayer, just to keep that tradition alive. And definitely try not to carry those feelings alone. Talk with someone you trust. You can have, your pastor or a counselor, or, someone like that. So those are the 5 tips, you guys, to just make a plan, Stick to a healthy routine, set boundaries, honor grief and survivor's guilt, and then seek connection and support because you are definitely you don't have to go through this alone, okay? And now I want to move into our guest of the week, but of course, you guys, we don't have a guest of the week for the month of December, but I do have some amazing thing to tell you. Something amazing to tell you. All right, I want to talk about the Shero contest winner this year, the writing contest winner this year at Shero Coffee Club. So we opened a $250 Christmas writing contest specifically for women veterans. We put it in our social media, we put it in our newsletter, we sent it via email. So it was simple. We invited them to share a short personal reflection about the chapter of their life that they're in right now. It didn't have to be perfect or polished or anything like that. We were just looking for, honest stories written from strength because we don't tell stories from the wound. We tell stories from the scar at Shero Coffee Club because the scar is healed, right? But we also wanted writers to tell where their growth is still happening and their life is still being lived. So this year, ooh, I need a drum roll. I need a drum roll. So this year, we are honored to recognize Lori Rotmeyer, a United States Marine Corps veteran, as our 2025 Shero Christmas Writing Contest winner. Congratulations, Lori. Oh, wait, I do know that I do have as part of my assets, if I could just find it. Congratulations, Lori. We have her as our 2025 Shero Christmas Writing Contest. And Lori's story stood out because it speaks to how she's staying engaged with life after service, right? She writes about choosing movement, choosing discipline, all those things we need, and purpose instead of slowing down or fading into the background. Her words definitely reflect exactly what we ask for when we put the requirements out. In her story, she shares what it's been like to reach her 60s, yes, and realize she isn't done growing, right? That's amazing. After serving in the Marine Corps, raising a family, spending years showing up for others, she decided that she didn't want to slow down or fade into the background. Instead, she chose to stay active, curious, and engage with life, as we all should be doing. She writes about completing the 75 hard. Now, the 75 hard is a 75-day challenge. They usually have like the week challenge, 7-day challenge, 21-day challenge, but this is a 75-day challenge that requires daily discipline and consistency, and how it helped remind and this shows how it helped remind her that she's still strong and capable. Now, you guys, Lori is training for a 50K walk. She's training to walk a 50K. I mean, just choosing purpose, choosing movement, and the joy in this season of her life. I mean, this is incredible. She's an incredible person. Before I read Lori's award-winning writing, I want you to ask yourself this. Where are you still showing up in your life right now? Where's that good that you're doing consistently, daily, using discipline? Where are you showing up in your life right now? And then I want you to find a place where you may have started to pull back slow down or fade to the background because of whatever. It could be because of your age, it could be because of your past, it could be because of what you're going through right now. But the other question is, how can I be more like Lori? How can I be more like Lori? And also, what I wanted to wait to tell you guys, Lori is also a 2026 Shero Coffee Club ambassador. So now I am going to read her story, her award-winning story. Congratulations, Lori. We can't wait to see your story on Shero Coffee Club. We can't wait to read more of this wonderful writing. All right. So Lori's story is titled The Boldest Chapter. They say aging means slowing down, settling in, and staying safe. I say it's the perfect time to live louder. I learned discipline in the Marine Corps, copying Morse code shoulder to shoulder with the guys. I held my own. I never learned how to quit. After the Corps, I worked hard, raised a family, and showed up when people needed me. But I was never quiet. I laughed loudly, said yes to big things, and lived wide open. Still, as I got older, I kept hearing, slow down, fade into the background, act your age. A voice in me said, not a chance. One day I looked around and wondered, how did I get to be 64? I wasn't done. I was just getting interesting. I started noticing women my age, especially my veteran sisters, planning for decline, planning for the slow fade. I couldn't do it. Something in me said, that's not my story. Instead of preparing to wind down, I wanted to show women like us we can choose vitality, we can choose strength, adventure, and joy as we age, not resignation. So I laced up my shoes and kept moving. I completed 75 hard for the second time in my 60s, not to prove anything to anyone else, but to remind myself I wasn't done. Then I thought, what if I didn't just stay active? What if I trained for something hard? That's when the idea of walking a 50K took hold. I'll be doing that in the spring. I'm grateful for the women who came before me, the Marines who stood beside me, and the family who still believes in me. They shape this bold path I'm walking. To me, aging boldly means refusing to disappear. It means choosing mountains over rocking chairs, saying yes to hard things, and laughing through mud, sweat, rain, and bug spray. It's standing outside in the morning light saying, thank you, God, for another sunrise. I don't have silver hair or wrinkles yet, but I've got stories. I've got sore legs from long walks and joy lines from smiling too much. I've got trekking poles in one corner and race medals in another. I've got a husband who encourages every wild idea and a son who just smiles and says, of course you are. This is my rebellion, not against age, but against the idea that aging makes us less. We're still growing, still becoming, still bearing fruit, and this could be our boldest chapter yet. You see why she is the 2025 Shero Writing Contest, Christmas Contest winner, right? She is on Instagram. I will put that. I want to make sure you guys know. I will put that definitely in the comments. You can find Lori on Instagram. And she's got these dad jokes that are just super amazing that she does. She is just a wonderful, wonderful wonderful person, and we are so glad that she is our winner for this year. All right. So that is the show, you guys. We've got more coming up next Sunday. Ah, this Shero medium roast. It's fantastic. And it's in the Shero mug, and you can get that all online. Um, I hope you have a blessed and Merry Christmas. If you are someone who is not feeling your best, seek help. Take those 5 steps that we talked about. Make sure you are doing those things. Self care. Above all, this season, I really want you to practice self care because Christmas is a giving holiday and we love to give, but we also have to render or give back. To ourselves. And on that note, from my family to yours, have a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you next Sunday. Enjoy.